Pillage, open mic. The link is in the right hand side in case you'd like to join the show. Um, and let's go ahead and introduce everybody. I'm going to start at the bottom because I heard Mike's off doing something, so is Lady Cat. So, Jeff, how are you doing?
Very good, thanks for Friday.
Very good. Ben
Hello, hello, everyone.
and Magic Mike, are you back? Nope. Alrighty. Aussie
Good morning, everybody.
and Lady Cat.
Hello.
Hello. So Mike is chosen the start of the show again to go do his chores. So. Oh well. I don't know. There's a huge amount to talk about this week. We have Pillage. We went through that on Wednesday. Um, we've got the Battle Pirates next week up. Um, Sort of what we expected. Is we have the raid next week, and surprise, surprise, there was no FM this week. But oh well. Um, I guess the main thing to talk about is Pillage and how people are progressing to Fly By Night and Cuttlefish No Profile Pics. We were forced by Google and YouTube to which are one and the same to migrate over from Hangouts on the Air, and StreamYard is the platform we're using right now, and it's relatively new, and they're still working on doing that. It's mostly been aimed at people being on webcams as opposed to people not. So people once they could share random screens or whatnot. So yeah. So alrighty. Quickly go through Battle Pirates next week. The raid, there's going to be 2 TLCs. I assume one for Siege and one for Skirmish for people catching up. And then, as we talked about before on the Wednesday show, the main prizes are going to be the Dragoon, which is what we're assuming is the tier 8.5 Siege Hall for the next raid. The Subjugator is a Conqueror Hall. That's a UAV and a tank distractor based thing, and I'm assuming and there's a co-op target that we also talked about on Wednesday that's replacing all of the 500 targets we saw before, and we're going to get brand new S targets. But now that we got that out of the way, how is Pillage treating everybody?
I'm just doing the 124s. Too much damage in the 126s, and I'm done.
Yeah, same. I'm only hitting 124s. I did do 8 sets of them in the beginning. Well, not in the beginning, overnight. But on the first night. But now I'm just hitting the 124s.
Yeah, 126 damage. Punitive.
Yeah. I mean, the 124s, you can go in. I dock and split instant repair them after every hit.
Yep.
Okay, there's a question I have about the 124s. I've seen Ben hit them in his ship design. What kind of antis do you have, Aussie, on your ships?
What have I got? I've got a Gale. What is it? Gale 4 and one MDS 3.
On each ship?
On each ship. I don't know if I'm happy with it. They don't seem to be. I mean, they try and shoot down the missiles from the ships every time, but the turrets, they only seem to fire at them occasionally, even when the ships aren't firing.
Okay.
They just don't. The projectiles that are getting through and actually hitting me.
Mm-hmm. And how much damage are you taking on the 124?
Anywhere between 18 and 22, 23.
Okay.
So it's still instant. It's instant split every time.
Okay.
Unless it crashes,
okay.
Which has happened a few times.
Okay, so one missile defense system 3 per ship, so a total of 5 across the fleet.
On one
and I'm assuming you're using Galea.
Yeah.
The Galea system. Okay.
Yeah.
And Mike, are you running something similar?
There's a little difference because I was real interested in seeing how Ben was doing so good on the map repair. Now maybe there's some interference here, but 3 of the ships have missile defense 3 and a Gale, and one of them has the lead Praetorian has just 1 sprint and 1 Gale, and then I refit real quick another ship to put 3 sprints on it, and it didn't help me at all.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the specials that go with it that are making the difference, or if the the sprints and the Gales aren't working good together. Not the Gales, but the MDS3s are not working good together on different ships. I don't know.
Okay. Well, the other thing, I'm just going to compare it to Ben's afterwards. So because I was going to go into more detail on that.
Okay.
So
you want the specials?
How much damage are you taking?
I'm doing like in the 15 to 20 minute range.
Okay. So
the best I've done was 9 minutes is the best I've done.
So it's very similar to what Aussie's doing.
Right. And before I made the change, though, to put those sprints on it, whether it makes a difference or not in this conversation, it was the same. I didn't really improve hardly at all.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is must be some special that Ben's running that's different than what I have.
Well, we'll get into Ben's in a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just trying to get your stuff.
What about armor?
The main difference, Ben's not running any armor. Okay. The main difference that I see is Ben is running 3 to 4 sprints per ship, right?
3 sprints per ship, 1 Gale 4.
Okay, so he's also running 3 times as many. So it's hard to tease out if it's just the pure quantity, or if
I compared the ship that has the Gales on it or the sprints on it to the next one in there that doesn't, and the repair times are either the same or sometimes the sprint one is a little bit higher.
But they're all running in the same fleet, right?
Yes. So maybe there's some interaction there that
No, it shouldn't matter. It's protecting all of them.
Okay.
So, but that's the difficult part, because Ben, you want to talk? Ben, you're running for instant repair on the 124s, right?
Yes, instant on the 124 and around 12 to 15 minutes on the 126.
It's phenomenal.
That's good.
That's really good.
So we probably just need to add more MBS.
Well, he's got sprints.
Well. Yeah, but is it quantity? Is it quantity, or is there a quality difference? Because right now,
you got to remember, sprints fire quicker. They reload a lot quicker, and they've got a little bit longer range as well. So with the more he's got more sprints, so it's firing a lot quicker and it's firing a lot more antis.
Yeah,
because of the reload as well and the distance as well. So it's shooting them down further.
Well, except for the reload, that's you got to look at the salvo doesn't have a salvo, so the reload is actually slower per. Well, you got to consider the 10 salvos that come out every 0.2 seconds. So, and the lower accuracy. Once you start putting on specials. So more my thought is it's the fact that he has 3 times as many is the only thing that makes sense based on what's on the blueprint. I did ask one of the QA people to take a look at it, because people have been complaining for a while that the Missile Defense System 3 isn't functioning the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm finding. I don't think it's firing it's not firing properly on the turrets. Because I don't see anything coming out of them. Just about every turret is hitting my ship, or every projectile from a turret is hitting my ship.
Yeah. And the other question that I had was, is somehow anti-missile different than countermeasures in regards to flak evade? Do you follow me there? So maybe the maybe the missile defense system free is getting impacted by flak evade, and the sprints aren't. That's the only thing that really. It's one of the few things that I can think of that would make such a marked difference in performance.
I did watch a video yesterday. The guy had one sprint, one MDS3, one Gale, 4 on each ship, but he had it fully armored as well with, I think, 4 D7Ms and 1X. Oh no, 5 D7Ms and 1X on it. And he was doing instant map repair. Or no, well, when I say it was 5 minutes and 5 seconds. That's what he come out at on a 124.
Mine's got at least 2 each armors as well, and I don't see the armors helping much at all.
Well, I don't know what he was doing then.
Just,
so I don't know
my
if
input. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have D7M as well?
The limited one, yeah. I'd have to go back and look.
That might actually be the reason then. Because it's zero repair, right?
Well, I don't know.
Personally, I have 2 ships that have the D7M on them, 2 panels each, and the rest of them don't have any. I'm seeing a little bit of difference, but not a huge difference as far as the armored ones versus the unarmored ones.
Yep. I believe that.
Yeah, and I have one that has nothing. It just has guns and no specials, and it's taking the same damage as the other 4. I can't explain that either. It's just there for being the 5th ship because it's the flag, and it takes the same damage, exactly the same damage as all the others. It doesn't have any specials.
Put a lot of time into putting armors on there for probably no reason at this point.
Yeah,
Well, at this point, that's true for pretty much. It feels like it's true for ever since they switched over to survival. It's armors have been it feels like they did a little. They haven't given us enough survival relative to the amount of resistance they took away from us, or something larger is broken because it doesn't. They don't have nearly the impact that you think that they're what you used to. That we're used to getting from armor panels.
Yeah. Well, see, my flag has 2 D7Ms, 2 D6Ms, and 2 Xs, and the rest of the fleet only has 2 D6Ms, or 6Ms, and the flag only takes less than a minute's less damage than each other ship. So we'll say the flag takes 3 minutes damage. Each other ship takes 4. So it's not making hardly any difference at all.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. So it would be nice if somebody, because it sounds like everybody's right around 5 MDS3s. If we had somebody that had some experience with putting 10 on and figured out if that is the equivalent of putting 15 sprints on a fleet, or is there a larger problem?
Oh, you shit me. Oh, sorry. My game crashed.
Okay.
This is what happens, right? Now I'm playing. I'm doing 124s, right? It'll engage, right? As soon as I click join, it crashes. It's the only time it crashes. I mean, it doesn't crash during a battle. Doesn't crash while I'm on the map. Doesn't crash while I'm in my base. Only ever crashes when I click bloody join.
That's when you're moving from one server to another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other bit that is annoying me is, it says to you, do you want to go into the battle? Yes, I want to go into the battle. But then I've got 3 pop-up screens by the time I get in there.
Are you running hardware accelerator?
No, I turned it off. It's turned off, I think.
Okay, I would double check. A lot of people have been having issues with even getting the game ever since the last Chrome update, having issues when trying to run hardware accelerator.
I don't think it's on anyway. I'll have to check.
Okay.
Because I think it said some. Hang on. I don't know. I'll have to check.
Yeah, just I'm just throwing that out there because there's a long thread in the forums about the hardware accelerator
Where have I got to find
and how it's interacting at this point in time after the last update.
Do you know where I find that?
Settings.
Settings.
Oh, in the actual settings of the game. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought there was another place to look.
To revert back a little on the Praetorians and the targets,
Go ahead.
with MDS3, it is anti-penetrative.
Yes.
Damage.
Mhm.
Where the sprint is countermeasure.
Yes.
So that might be the difference too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Is in regards to flak evade. That's where the difference would be if there was a coding difference that they didn't quite realize. Like, because I was saying at that point, we have somebody. I asked the person in QA, and she has one of the game designers trying to look at it and figure out if there's any if that's an issue. Looking at the performance of the missile defense system relative to the sprint and figure out if this is intentional or it's something that they're going to fix on it. So yeah. Yeah.
Just don't mess up my fleet.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was also saying earlier, it'd be cool if we had somebody that had experience with 10 MDS3s on a fleet and figure out if that is that should perform as well as your 3 or your 15 sprints. So because we're comparing apples and oranges, and we're comparing 5 apples to 15 oranges too. So at least try to limit some of the variables going on here.
But it may be visual, but same as Aussie was saying, I don't see any evidence that it's actually firing the MDS3. There's no visual of it firing anyway. There's nothing coming away from my ship shooting at rockets.
Yeah.
There's stuff going up to hit the long arc ones. You could see those. But you can't
from the ships.
Can't see
which
any.
is the MDSs. If you've got MDSs, it's the MDSs that are firing on them, but they're not firing on the turrets.
But the sprints will.
Yes.
And what's the problem about, can you mix sprints and MDSs?
The sprint has a longer range but lower accuracy, and so you would be losing. Well, that's not true. The weapons themselves, the sprint has higher, or I think has a slightly higher accuracy, but none of the specials that we have impact that. So we're able to get our accuracies way up there with using something like the Galea system. So, and it also has a salvo of 10. So each weapon should be firing every 0.2 seconds up until it reaches that 10, and then we get into the reload. So it should be putting a lot more stuff up in the air. So the interference comes in with the fact that the sprint would fire first, but have a lower accuracy. And so therefore the MDS wouldn't fire because that incoming projectile has already been fired upon. So therefore you're lowering your total accuracy by mixing them together is the issue.
Okay.
So within the fleet, even not just ship to ship.
Once it's based on the projectile, it's not based.
Oh, okay.
So if you could run some things with some spacing, where you could put one where the MDS3 was the first one to fire upon them, or have the first opportunity to fire upon them, but it's based on the projectile. It's not based on your ships. So if you have them all stacked, they would all act the same.
So some of these aren't doing a damn thing then.
Well, the issue is, we're trying to figure out what it's doing, or what it's doing at this point.
Well, then all somebody really has to do is add more MDS to one of their ships. and just test one ship at a time.
No, because that's the point that I think I was making is it's on the projectile, not the ship to ship.
No, that was the point I was when I said I was comparing. We're comparing 5 apples to 15 oranges.
Yeah.
Is that's the point I was making, was the fact that Ben, even though it doesn't have a salvo, it's all reload based.
I'll test it tomorrow.
But am I misunderstanding what you're saying? Because if some of the ships have MDS3 and some have sprints, the MDS3s might be taken out of the equation because of the sprints. Well, that's
per projectile.
because it's projectile based. So if you have them mixed within the fleet, you could be losing some efficiency from some of them. Possibly.
Yeah, and that's the idea that I was. Yeah, there's a lot of factors going on here, but that is definitely one of them that I'm trying. That I'm,
Well, that's what I meant when I said someone might not be doing a darn thing because they're already acted on the projectile.
Yeah, but the sprint itself has such a low. It has a reload. It only has a single it doesn't have all the salvos, so it's not firing as often. So it's
It's weird. Okay.
My suggestion was to test on one ship, Mike.
Just take one in.
Just one ship and add without any sprints on it, but add more MDS3.
Okay, I thought you were talking about.
Pair that to another ship with just MDS3, but less of them, and see if there's a major difference. You could do it with one ship.
Do that.
I can test it tomorrow if I use up my stockpile of tokens.
Well, I have a ship that has MDS3s on one MDS3 on it, and I have a ship that has 3 sprints on it. So
Well, that's apples and oranges. We don't want to.
well, I could split it up and just take the one chip in.
But it won't do us any good.
yeah.
One's an apple and one's an orange.
I have no weapons on my flag, so I'm just gonna put all sprints on it, and then remove the 4.
That's probably not a bad idea.
The four MDSs. I might even bump up the flagship's countermeasures to see if that helps, because there must be something beyond Galea you can improve your countermeasures with, unless it doesn't stack with anything.
Ben, are you using subaquatic propellant with your sprints?
No, I am not. Let me pull my build up here real quick. I just happen to be in base.
Is there anything else that stacks with Galea that would help the sprint do its thing?
Well, what was the special we used back when we used sprints? A long time ago. Didn't we have a countermeasure special we used back then?
Yeah, I just thought the Galea would be a countermeasure special and might not allow it, but I'll check here.
The Galea adds countermeasure reload and range. And anti-missile range. So in theory, that should work on both sprints and the MDS3s. So,
Are you using anything for rocket reload?
yes. I am using Cluster Warhead 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at chat, Daniel. We answered Bama's question. Did you have a question?
I mean, my specials are the Combustion System 2, Cluster Warhead 3, High Yield Warhead, Explosive Battery, Galea, and Pen Sync Drive.
Yeah, I just verified what Daniel's saying. You can put subaquatic on there and add the countermeasure reload to it too. So they stack with Galea. Which it sounds like a good idea if you don't have enough of them to have them fire more often.
Just a note to the people in chat, there's like a 15-second delay from the time we say something to the time you hear it. So when you type to us and we read it, we're probably 20 to 30 seconds behind. So it's not that we're not responding, we just don't see it quickly. So what's everybody going to do? You got to change all your MDSs to sprints?
Nope. I'm waiting to see what the FM's going to require.
That is another thing. The 125 in the FM has rockets in it. MDS3 does not shoot down the rockets. Sprints do.
Well, that's it.
I hate to use up my stockpile of refits, though.
But don't use it to test this. Well,
Yeah, no, I know, but
Pillage
yeah,
is over now, so
that's true. I'm getting enough points without using them.
oh, I haven't hardly started.
because the 126 is so punitive, though, that what Ben's doing is great because you're getting in the base repair on the 126s, right, Ben?
Yes.
Yeah, so that, I mean, you can really rack up some points good, but it's either coin the refits because there's no tokens or spend the tokens that you've been saving.
Yeah, it's a
And
tough.
it's like,
It's not a tough choice. I don't think I'll do
right.
tokens.
It's like 11 hours to put 2 sprints on if you got your upgrades done on the building.
Maybe sacrificing a couple of the days wouldn't be too bad. But it's a tight fit for 4 raid fleets by the CSV or VXP weekend.
Oh, and don't make the mistake that I made and do an instant upgrade. Start the refit first and then
I see.
finish it. Because it was like twice the coinage to do that.
Twice.
Yeah, because you're buying
What was it?
resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You buy the resources when you do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
They should give you a warning. They should say, "Do you want to do this?"
Yeah, that was crazy.
That is a big issue. They act like we turned it off at some point, but we get warnings if we're going to spend uranium, upgrade kits, titanium, whatnot. But if you're going to spend gold, you don't get a warning.
Yeah, I know.
It's only going to cost me about a one day build, which is what, 46 or something.
48, yeah.
48, yeah, and it ended up was over 100, and I said, shit. I just let it go because it was my mistake, but
Yeah.
don't make that mistake, guys.
Yeah, I've done that before.
And it's because I wanted to get it testing. Otherwise, I wouldn't even coin the stupid thing. But I just wanted to see if it would make a big difference. And for me, personally, it did not. So, but there's that interaction, I'm sure. And unlike Ben, I got a bunch of armor on mine too, and I'm still taking more damage. So,
Has anybody? Well, let's. If we're done with that for a little bit, if there's still, if you're willing to spend a little time, you can. You don't have to use your Praetorians. You don't have to use your Radicators. You can still get a good amount of points in Pillage using your Hydras and your Inferno Dragons. The Hydra, you get, you're not getting the same number of points, but personally, I can hit the 63s with my Hydras, get instant repair on the map, and then I can hit the 67s with my Dragons and get instant repair on the dock. And so you're getting, what are you getting, 5,000 for that set? And it's all instant repair for people out there that don't have their Praetorians up, or while your Praetorians are repairing, you can still go ahead and do this to get more points. So, and it's a step down as far as the amount of points, but it's not a huge step down because I see people are talking about autoing the 40s and whatnot. But if you want to hit some of the Praetorian targets or while those are repairing, you can still just go ahead and, get some more points elsewhere.
You're right. It's absolutely doable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question, just not about Pillage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we talked a little bit in the pre-show. The TLCs. Has anyone done the mastery round for the suppressor? Anyone?
No, I haven't.
Well, I started my suppressor upgrade thinking I'll be able to do the TLC. Might have some extra damage without the suppressor, but it should still be doable. And I found out today the suppressor's required in a mastery target, that there's one target that only the suppressor is used. You don't even use the silverfish. There's 4 gluts in it. I'm not saying it's not doable with silverfish, but from what I understand, it's going to kill them. And I'll have to be coining. So my shipyard's stuck now because I was counting on the TLC. If I cancel my build or my upgrade, I lose my kits. So I'm kind of stuck. So don't you guys make the same mistake thinking you can get by and get those tokens on that TLC, because you can't without your suppressor. And I'm not too happy with
So
that.
it takes a suppressor to get
To get a suppressor
what you need for
upgrade.
the suppressor.
Right. Take the suppressor to get the suppressor and what you need.
It
What
takes
you need for the suppressor.
not true, because you got the suppressor before that, right?
Right.
So it takes the suppressor to get the upgrades for the suppressor.
Right.
If you don't want to spend.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not what you said before. You need the suppressor to get it. You need the suppressor to get the
upgrade.
upgrades
upgrade.
for the suppressor.
The upgrade tokens.
Sorry about that.
And
You
the
can-
upgrade kits.
Well, you can get kits and Pillage. That's what I
Well,
did.
but as far as the TLC goes, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. That was my plan all along. Bad plan, but my plan was get the kits and Pillage, and then start my upgrade. So that, because it's almost an 8-day upgrade, and this is a week before the raid, but I didn't get my kits in time to start quite soon enough. But I started the day or so after Pillage, thinking I'd be able to get the kits within the 6 days. But I'm not going to be able to.
Okay. Which opens up sort of a broader question regarding the upgrading the suppressor. Has anybody looked at the stats and decided, I'd rather, now that we have the ability to build 2 suppressors, that I might rather have 2 suppressors than have one that's upgraded?
Wish I considered that.
Yeah, when I looked at it, that's sort of what I thought. I'm like, you get 15% combat speed at it's all U1. 15% combat speed plus 74% survival on both. And what's there's one more stat. It should be in your shipyard that you got.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to show you my shipyard right now.
well, I'm just saying. Does anybody remember what the other stat is?
No.
Okay, there's one more stat, but across the board, I just thought with build time and whatnot, or time spent, and it just seems like having 2 might be better than having one that's
Better one. Yeah. And you're probably right. And I know you weren't really for the upgrade to begin with. That was my decision to do it, but I'm already upgraded to 3 on all my other silverfish. So, like I said, I didn't think it would be that much of a problem. I didn't realize I'd be so stuck.
Okay.
Okay, what did you say there was? Okay, we've got combat speed.
Combat speed and survival.
Yeah, concussive survival, explosive survival.
Yeah.
Isn't there a third thing? Isn't there a
That
fourth?
is the third thing.
Penetrative.
No, it's only 3.
Okay. So it gives you 15%
Concussive
combat
explosion.
speed, and then it's 74% on each of the other two, right?
No, I don't know.
Somewhere around there, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Well, it says plus 218.75%, whatever that means.
Plus, say one more time.
Okay, what it says, you want concussive survival. It says 14,000, and then that's concussive, and then survival. It says in brackets plus 218.75%.
Oh, 218. Okay, so it's way up there. I swear that I think at one point that number was lower. I could be wrong. I didn't think it was that huge, but okay. So you're adding. Okay, so if you start off, yeah, so it's adding significant amount of survivability. I don't know. What is this boat for the targets if that's what's going on?
Well, see, I figured the X target might need that. The new X target.
Well, we don't need the upgrades. They're just a little extra added bonus.
But I thought my
I
suppressor.
was kidding. I was putting that in air quotes. I'm sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, we missed that.
I missed the air quotes. Next time, put that on video, please. The new X target is a co-op target, so I thought it would be good for me to co-op with other people if I had a better suppressor. That's what I'm hoping, is to be able to hit the co-op target.
Yeah, and it may work out that way. It's just
When I can finally get it out of the shipyard, yeah.
it's just it's a very expensive ask, I think, from Kixeye in regards to time and effort.
Yep.
In order to get this done without seeing a target that warrants it at this point in time. We haven't seen a target that really warrants that kind of boost in survivability, because a lot of people can do them for next to no damage or no damage, depending on the targets that we've seen historically. So the boost in survival hasn't shown to be warranted at this point, and this is the last raid in that cycle. So I don't,
I know. Well, I figure I'm toast now for the raid because I won't have a suppressor for a while, and I won't have had time to put the new guns on. Although I'll have tokens.
Yeah, you have tokens. You can put six on per ship per. Well, okay, you're gonna get 5. You're gonna have plenty to get the guns on, because you're gonna have. You get 5 for steel plate and 5 for the normal ones. You got 4 normal ones. You can put 6 guns on each ship per token.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can get 6 on 4 of them, and you can get 30 on the steel plate if you can hack your way to that. But but just with the tokens that they're giving you allows you to put those on. So you should be fine, because that's all going to be just minutes to upgrade if you get the tokens associated with the Pit Viper or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've already got like 5 silverfish tokens, so I can do it now, even if I didn't get the tokens in Pillage. But they're in Pillage, I believe.
Yeah, there's 5. There's 5 for the normal ones and 5 for the steel plate.
So I'll be able to fill up, since I can only hold 10 because we're limited.
Yeah, and so I guess you're going to run into the problem that if you're already over, you're going to have to go over the limit on the tokens by starting that upgrade for the suppressor. You're probably not going to get access to your shipyard until after the store is closed for Pillage.
Right. 2 days after. I think I counted 2 days after the raid before I get my shipyard and my suppressor.
Yeah.
So I could cancel and lose my kids, but don't really want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the upgrade mechanism, or you could spend the $4.99 that they were asking for earlier today. I'm not sure if that's still up there, but yeah,
Nope,
it's not really fair. But yeah,
my deal's gone. I did hear about the deal. I probably saw the deal, but
yeah.
I don't have it now. So it's no longer a choice.
No, I'm not saying that's right or fair or whatnot. It's just sort of
I bet they do it again, though. At least the first part of the raid, it'll come back.
Well, it's just that the
If you care to
upgrades
do it, right? I mean, it's like,
these upgrades are killing us.
I
You
don't
know,
like
it's
upgrades at
taking
all.
our shipyard time,
It stinks.
and it's making these hulls that are supposed to be quick to build. It's making them longer to build. You
I
know,
just looked at it, it was over 7 days. It's like, no,
yeah, that's crazy.
screw that.
So, yeah, no, I don't think anybody's happy with the whole upgrade process.
I hate it. The upgrade process.
And part of the deal is they don't give you tokens for it, or offer them, or give you a way to get them. You have to straight up pay for it if you want to get out of it quick. Right? I mean, there's no tokens unless they had the actual
Right. Right.
for the upgrade.
So with our ships, we can use the FM tokens. We have more choices on our builds, but we have no choices when it comes to upgrades. It's either coin or time.
Right.
okay. Let me know if you guys think when we're winding down on the live show, because we're already maxed. We've been maxed out since close to the beginning on spots in regards to StreamYard. So I'm queued up a Google Hangout, which allows 10 people to participate at once, but this will not be part of the live broadcast. This will only be an after show. So just for everybody who's aware, can't get in at this point as far as the live show. It's because we're maxed at 6 people. So, but I have that queued up that I'll put right before we end. I'm not going to put it now because there's no way to turn down the volume of either one of these. So if people get in the Hangouts, I'm going to be listening to whatever you're saying in addition to what's going on here. So I don't want to do that at this point in time.
Right. Real quick before this, the names of the campaigns next week, the TLCs are Test of Courage and Assault Break.
Okay.
Where did you get that?
Discord.
Discord. Yeah. Assault Break seems like a weird one to throw in here. Considering we're, I guess so, because, it's assault and skirmish at this point. Test of Courage. I don't know that we've seen that one before, have we?
Yes, we have.
Okay, yeah. What is that a siege one?
Okay. What are we using? Saturns and Nemis. What's that? That's assault, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what you earn, or that's what you use?
Oh, that's what you use.
Okay. Do you know what you earn?
Folder. I don't know. I didn't put that in there.
Okay.
I used to. I've forgotten to do it because I do a folder on them all, so I know what's in them, what targets they are. So what was the other one? Assault Break. Yeah, it's the same targets.
Okay.
Both of them.
Do you know what's in that one?
No, I haven't. No, I have no idea.
So if they're both, they're probably for the Saturn and Nemi tech and stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I'm just trying to figure out, like what you earn. I'm assuming it's stuff, but yeah. Well,
Well, I don't use those techie terms, you know that. Them doohickeys.
you got it. Trying to think of of anything else going into there, just remind people this is the last raid where your silverfish and suppressor are going to be the top dog hauls. So, plan accordingly.
Yeah, save those FM tokens for the non-existent FM this week.
Yes, yes. Okay, so do we have much else, or?
No, I don't.
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to start up a 10-person available hangout and provide the link. I'm going to do this right before I end this show because of the problems I mentioned earlier. And copy link. Alrighty, I will post it for everybody. Oops, wrong post. Why did not that not take? One second.
You're doing good with that tonight.
What? Posting the wrong thing? I did it. No, it said copy link to share, and then it's link copied to clipboard, and then it posts something else. There we go. There's the Hangouts here, and here's the Hangouts internally. And I don't know. Anybody have any parting words?
Nope, just enjoy your doohickeys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your Dumoplages.
Yep. Okay.
Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck with the rest of Pillage.
Yeah, and we'll see you on Wednesday to talk about new doohickeys, and have fun until then, and good luck on Pillage. And the link is on the right-hand side in case anybody would like to join the hangout. And talk to y'all later.
Good night.
Hey.
See you later.